Hi, everybody. Krystal here, and I'm so happy you're joining me today. If you listened to my recent episode of the Rookie Life podcast, I did an entire episode on webinars. So, doing a podcast episode on that was not the best idea. If you actually listen to the episode, you can see that I kind of stumbled through the entire thing because the whole time I was thinking, this will make such a better video. So that's what we're doing today. So if you don't know who I am, hi, I'm Krystal Proffitt. I blog at krystalproffitt.com. I am the founder of the Rookie Life podcast and Rookie Podcasting, which is a course all about starting, launching, and marketing your podcast. But the reason why I want to talk about webinars today is because I'm super cheap. And I didn't know how webinars worked. I've attended, I don't even know, I can't even count at this point how many webinars on online marketing and branding and email marketing and just all kinds of things. And I've kind of fallen in love with doing webinars and doing things like this. Like this video you're watching right now was actually created with some of the same steps that I'm about to show you. So if you're a note taker, take some notes. If you're not, just take a deep breath because I'm going to go through a lot of this really quickly, but just know this is going to live on YouTube forever and ever and ever. So you can go find this video and watch it a million times if you want to and go through it at your own pace if I go too fast, but I do have a lot to cover. So I want to just go ahead and get started. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you step by step everything that I talked about in my last podcast episode. Okay, so as you can see, I am on YouTube. So the first step is if you don't have a YouTube account, you're going to want to create a YouTube account. That is the first thing that you need to do. You need to create your own YouTube channel. You can keep it private to where whatever you post doesn't actually go out to the public. I have a public channel, so I don't really care. I only put up things that I want people to see. But so create a YouTube account. And then when you go up here, like I said, I'm just on basic, just youtube.com. I'm not on my channel or anything like that. I'm going to come up here and click on my icon. And I'm going to go down to YouTube Studio. Okay. And then from there, this is where we're going to set up your event, okay? And I know it sounds scary because it's a live event, but it's really not going to be live until you want it to be, okay? So I'm going to walk you through this whole process. But we're going to go over to other features. And then from there, we're going to go to live events. And again, don't be scared by a live event because it's not live actually right this second. This is actually the video that I'm creating right now, how to create a webinar for free. Okay, so if you had other things that were scheduled or going on, this is where they would show up. But what I want to do is walk you through the process of what you would do if you wanted to set up a webinar, because you kind of have to reverse engineer this thing. And I want you to start with the last thing that you're going to do. Basically, you're going to come in here and hit live whenever you're ready, but there are a few processes that you have to set up first. So from this page, you're going to set up a new live event. And let me be very clear whenever I go, let me go back to the channel dashboard. Up here, you can click this icon and it'll say go live. That is not the same as doing a webinar because I'm going to show you. So create new live event right here. This is the difference. When you go live, let me go back. If you go up here and you just choose go live, then your camera turns on and you're just ready to start talking, right? But having this Google Hangout option checked is what allows for me to be sharing my screen with you right now. If I did not have that checked, which if you go back to your go live and you just, you start talking, your camera turns on, you can't share your screen, which is what I'm doing with you right now. So if you wanted to present a PowerPoint presentation or a Google Slides presentation to an audience, you can only do that this way through a live event. Okay, and for the purposes of this, I'm just going to write testing for a free webinar. Sounds good, right? If I can spell, there we go. And I want it to be at a later date, which I can decide whenever I want that to happen. Let's just say Friday at 1 p.m. Sounds great. I'm going to create event. Okay, actually, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let me go back because I did see something that I did not do correctly. I want this to be private. I don't want this to be public unless you want to do something that's public that you want everyone on your YouTube channel to see. But I do all of mine private because I want people to sign up for my webinar and I don't want everyone on the internet to have access to it. So I'm going to do private. I'm going to save my changes and I'm going to go back to my watch page. Okay. At this area is where you can share it. You see where it says private, here's my title, and it tells me, oh, look, it's going to start at 1 p.m. I'm in Central Standard Time Zone, and it is 12:33 right now. So I check, okay, cool, like this, it's working. And it defaults to your YouTube channel art. So you can upload a different picture if you want it to be like a webinar or like something specific that, you know, it's not just a general topic. You want it to be people to understand while they're coming to your webinar. You can change this, but I want to go down here to the share because this is how you're going to get your information from YouTube to your website. Okay, so I just want to pop this up here and we're going to come back to this in a little bit. Now I have WordPress. That is what my website is hosted on. This is where, here, actually, I'm going to move over here. Move over here real fast. Okay, so I have a WordPress website. I, for a long time, went with Weebly, and I've had, I did Blogger. It's where I used to have my blog a long time ago, and WordPress really accommodates everything that I want to do for my online business, which is do fun stuff like host a webinar and just do a whole lot of options that I didn't have the freedom to do with other websites. So if you don't have a WordPress website, I don't really have a lot of information other than I can show you the steps that I'm going to do. And if your website can do that, that's awesome. If they don't, I would point you in the direction of either looking at your website, like, is this going to allow you to do something like this? Or do you need to look at other options? Or maybe a webinar platform that does things like this for you could be a cheaper option or a better option if you're not very tech savvy. Because we are about to get into the tech behind all of this. And I'm going to go fast again, but you can always rewatch it and send me questions if you have any questions along the way. But I'm going to go back to screen share so I can show you exactly the process that I go through. Okay, so this is the dashboard. If you're familiar with WordPress, everybody has the same dashboard. And I'm going to add a new web page. Okay, so this is, you know, like I said, I'm going to get a little techie, try not to go too high level, but I want to create a page that's just for webinar. So if you were to go to krystalproffitt.com/webinar, this is the page that you would land on. Okay, I'm going to save it. I'm not going to publish it yet. I've had tendencies to like entire web pages disappear on me. So I'm like the queen of saving everything. I was that person whenever we took computer class that I was like compulsively saving every single Word document, everything, because yeah, there's a lot of bad memories that I have of losing stuff. So I'm just going to save it because now we're going to hop over to ConvertKit. Okay, hang on. I'm going to come back and talk to you once again. Okay. I do my webinars for lead generation. So what does that mean? That means I want an audience. Like, of course, I give this all away for free. Like this webinar right now, you know, this is video that I'm doing. This is given away for free in hopes that you're going to come hang out with me on the website and you're going to come see all the other fun things that I have to offer. But at the same time, I am trying to capture people's emails, which that is lead generation and email marketing. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I'm trying to build an audience of people that I can serve constantly. I am not just kind of talking out into the void, like posting a video on YouTube and hoping that someone, sees it. I want to talk to specific people. That way they can tell me what they're struggling with, where they need help, how I can best serve them. And the best way to do that is with an email list filled with people that are ready and willing, and like they just can't wait to hear from you. There's so many people that I have subscribed to their email list, and every single time they email me, I'm like, oh, what did they say today? Or what good tips does she have for me? And that's what I'm trying to create for my email list. So with webinars, yes, I'm delivering value, but I'm also trying to grow my audience and grow my email list. So that's where that comes into play. I do use ConvertKit. That is the platform that I have now. I used to have MailChimp, but it was very limited on the things that I was able to do. So that's why I switched to ConvertKit. I've been with them, I guess, since November, and it's February now. So I've been very pleased with everything that I'm able to do. And I'm actually going to show you why, because we're going to create a form for people to sign up for the webinar. So let's go back in. So here is ConvertKit, and all I have done is I click on forms. This is the page that it drops me to, and I'm going to create a new form. So for my webinars, I want to have a landing page. Like you could do a form somewhere on your website, but whenever I'm driving traffic to this place, let's say from Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or anywhere, I want them to land on one page, not my podcast page, not my homepage. I don't want them to be confused about what's going on. I want them to know, hey, I'm signing up for a webinar and this is how you do it. I'm going to choose just the simplest one that I can. So those were all templates that I could use. I'm just going to choose a very easy one. I'm going to change this picture. This one looks good. So now I have a picture, and I'm going to say join my free webinar. I can't spell today, guys. About podcasting. Sign up below to save your seat. And I have like the bad habit. I use way too many exclamation points, but I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Here you would write something about what the webinar is, maybe what you cover. Learn the best tips and tricks to launch your podcast this year. And then let's say the date is 2/28/19 at 3:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm completely making all of this up. But here it defaults to join a newsletter. That's not what we want. We want to write sign up for webinar, because you want them to know you're signing up for the webinar. And then be notified, again, I cannot spell, when webinar is starting. I don't know. You just want to write something else above this area where they're going to be dropping their name and their email, because they're like, wait, what am I signing up for again? Am I just going to be getting a newsletter? Like, what's going on? So here you can say, let me go back. And then sign me up. I think these are always fun whenever you can change what you're saying. It's just another opportunity for you to kind of interject your personality into different parts of your marketing. I always change my brand colors to my color here. This is, like I said, it's really techy, but it's, the little things that I do that I really enjoy. So that's it. I know it's very plain, very basic, but that's all we need right now. So I've done the landing page, and now I'm going to save it. We'll call it free webinar sign up form. Okay, we're going to save it. Now we're going to go back to WordPress, right? Because we're on this page. And because I have ConvertKit, I have installed the ConvertKit plugin, and I have, here, let me get on here where you can see me. So I have connected, like here's WordPress here, and here's ConvertKit. I have connected the two of them. That way these two platforms talk to each other. It's called an API. I don't know what that means. I just know that that is what it's called. I don't have the actual words for the acronym, but it is called an API. So my WordPress and my ConvertKit talk to each other. So if I make an update in ConvertKit, I do sometimes have to manually go and refresh WordPress so that these forms or these landing pages that I've created show up on my website. So I'm just giving you a little heads up. That's what we're going to be doing now. So here's this page. It's saved as a draft because that's where we're going to put all our webinar stuff. Now I'm going to go over to settings, and I'm going to go to ConvertKit. See, this is all the API stuff. I'm going to click refresh forms. Okay, save changes. And then we're going to go back to the page that I just created. Okay, so click on pages, and we're going to search for free. What did I call that one? No, I called it webinar. I'm just going to search for webinar. And there's probably still going to be some from last time because I did not delete them. Here is this one in draft mode. So this is the one I can see. Okay, so now from here, I'm going to go all the way to the bottom. And again, I'm just on my web page, and you see the form and landing page. This is like the ConvertKit API talking to one another. I'm going to go to landing page and click free webinar sign up form. Okay, that is the one that I just created. I'm going to click save draft just for safe measure. Always click save here. And then we're going to preview and see what this looks like. And I always preview everything. Okay, so see the same, this is in ConvertKit, right? All this right here. And then this is actually at krystalproffitt.com/ and it'll be webinar once I click publish. So someone could sign up for my webinar and they're being added to my email list. So let's walk through this part real fast. And again, you can always email me or put a comment below this video if you have any questions about how email marketing works or anything like that, but I don't have time to explain that right now. So I'm just going to go back to what happens when someone joins my email list. So we are going to go to automations. This is within ConvertKit now, and I'm going to set up a new automation. So it's blank. I'm going to call this my free webinar sign up. So this is going to be, let me come back. Let me talk to you for a second. So what is an automation, Krystal? I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm brand new to email marketing. So an automation is whenever someone joins a form, they have one of your forms, they give you your email, their email address, they sign up to connect with you deeper. They want to know more about you, what you're doing. They give you the email. They don't just stop there. If they do, you need to work on your email marketing. You need to use email marketing as a way to develop the relationships that you have with your audience. And it took me a long time to get on board with this. I was totally against it because I thought, gosh, that's just so much work. It's so many like moving parts and different things to do, but it's really not that bad. If you have the right platform, ConvertKit makes this so much easier. Oh my gosh, so much easier than, sorry, MailChimp, it just didn't work for me. Maybe your platform's gotten better, but I love everything that they have. So an automation is whenever someone gives me their email address, then what happens? Okay, so this is what I'm going to show you. So I'm going to click create automation. And once they join a form, that's the action that's going to happen. And which one? My free webinar sign up form. I'm going to click add event. Okay, so this is the sequence of events that happens. someone's joined my sign up form, then I want to tag them as interested in podcasting. Oh, look, we have one right there. They're interested in a podcast because I'm creating a webinar, like hypothetically, that is about podcasting. So I click add action. So now if someone joins my list from this form, then I know from like at a glance, like, oh, these people are interested in podcasting. They want to know more. Maybe I should send them whenever I put a blog post up about setting up podcast, or, you know, how to get more listeners, or how to set up a hosting site, anything like that. These people would be interested. But I also want to take it a step further and add them to an email sequence that I've already set up. So an email sequence, let me come back to you real fast. So again, I don't have time to go into all the things with email marketing, but an email sequence is when someone joins my list, let's say they were flagged as being interested in podcasting, I have an email series that drips out to them. I think it's over 3 or 4 days. That's like, hi, I'm Krystal. This is who I am. This is what I'm about. And this is what you can expect from me. I send out, there's new podcast episodes of The Rookie Life on Tuesdays. And on Thursdays, I put up new blog posts and videos. Fridays, I send out my newsletter. And here's where you can see me on Instagram or Facebook, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's my introduction. And then the next day is like, oh, by the way, I see that you're interested in podcasting. Let me send you my free podcast checklist. And then the next email is like, these are the 5 things that I've learned about podcasting in the last year. And then I send them another email with my top, I think it's 3 or 5 podcasts that I love to listen to. So it's just a way for someone to get to know you better, you know, more unlike like, oh, you signed up for this webinar. Cool. I'll see you there. They kind of know what to expect of me and my personality and who I am and what I'm all about. And they can pretty much like discern right then and there, like, am I going to like listening to this person for 30 minutes or an hour of a webinar? I don't know. Like, you can kind of decide right off the bat. So, so that's what an email sequence is. So let's go back and I'm going to show you. So there's an email sequence. Let's just say I have one for interest in rookie podcasting, which is my course, but I'm going to do interested in podcast. Boom. Okay, so whenever someone signs up for my form, these are the steps. This is the flow chart that's going to happen. This is what is going to automatically be done. And this is what's so awesome about ConvertKit, because it's done. Like, I don't have to worry about going back and emailing all of these people, and I can set up any kind of email sequences that I want to use. So let me go. I have to actually turn it on. Okay, so now this is all live. Okay, so let's go back. I'm going to come back to you again real fast, because what we've done so far is we've set up our Google Hangout live event on YouTube, right? We set up our landing page in ConvertKit. We've created a web page solely for that landing page on our own website. So again, when we go to krystalproffitt.com/webinar, that's where you're going to find that sign up form. And then we created a sequence that's going to take all these people that are going to sign up for your webinar. What's going to happen? They're going to be flagged as interested in whatever your webinar is about. They're also going to be given an email sequence that introduces them to you and your brand or your business or whatever it is that you're about. Okay. So now how do they get to this webinar that you're going to do? Right. Okay. So we are going to go back. I'm going to share my screen again. And okay, so this is the sequence, the automation. Here is the WordPress page that my landing page is hosted on. Okay, so I'm going to actually go back into forms. And I'm going to search for free webinar sign up. Oh, it's right there. Okay, so this is where the technology, like, just stay with me, okay? Because this is the part when someone signs up to your form, you can just say, oh, we're so happy. I'm going to come see you. Oh, I'm so happy. Like, you know, I can't wait for you to join us. The webinar is going to be awesome. Whatever you want to say, and just like text. And it's like, okay, great. Now what happens? What I like to do is send them to a page on my website that says, thanks for signing up, even if it's just a graphic that says, thanks for signing up. See you on whatever date, whatever time that your actual webinar is. That's the page that I like to have on my website. But for today, and we can go into that in another video, but for time, what I want to do is show you how to redirect them automatically to the page where your webinar is going to be shown. Maybe it's an immediate webinar and they need to sign up and go look at it. That's kind of hypothetical, but it's what I'm going to show you today, so you know how to do this in the future. Okay, so we are here within, you can see this right here, and this tells me that I'm in ConvertKit. I can always look up here. I'm in ConvertKit. And you see this where it says right here, whenever a visitor subscribes to a form, this is what happens. Well, I want to redirect them to a web page. And I'm going to go back to my WordPress site. I'm going to publish this page right now. Okay. Now it says, okay, this is where this is going to be. So I'm going to copy this link. And over here, I want them to be redirected to this page. So we are going to test this to see what happens. Okay. So the way to do this, the way I always test my links is I go to an incognito window and I'm going to go to krystalproffitt.com/webinar. Okay, we're going to see what pops up. Oh, look, it's my webinar form. And I'm going to say Krystal at kbproffitt@gmail.com. Yes, sign me up. Okay. I totally did that wrong. Hang on, guys. I put the wrong link in there. I don't want it to send it back to that page. Oh my gosh. I meant to come back to here, to YouTube. This is the link that I want to copy. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Okay, just kidding. I want to redirect to my YouTube page. There we go. And this is why you test things like, okay, real fast. We're gonna come back. We're gonna get back on screen because I could sit here and be embarrassed. Like, oh my gosh, I totally messed up. But this is what happened. I tried to do my first webinar and I created a live video. I scheduled it. Obviously, that's not what you need to do. But yeah, I had to make several mistakes. And that's why I'm showing this to you. So you don't do the same thing. So we're going to go back. I just want to tell you, I'm human. I messed up. But you know what? I'm fixing it right now. So let's go back. So here is this. And I'm going to, oh, that's the YouTube one. Hang on. krystalproffitt.com/webinar. Okay. And I'm going to go back and delete all my test emails that I do. I always go back and delete them. Oh, I didn't even spell my name right. It's awesome. Hey, Proffitt, Gmail. Okay. Yes. Sign me up. Now what's going to happen? We're going to cross our fingers. Yay! The video is unavailable because it's not real. So, yeah, that's awesome. But that's where it would be in theory. So I hope that this helps. Like, I'm actually, I am a little embarrassed that didn't work out the way that I wanted it to. But if you were doing this is like all the logistics side. If you haven't noticed, like, I haven't even gone over creating a webinar because there's a lot to it, like the actual presentation in PowerPoint, Google Slides, whatever. But what you would do is whenever you're in your live event, like what I'm doing right now, then you would share your screen. And I think that this is going to have to be like a video part 2 of where I share my screen and I show you all the steps of how you present your webinar. But that is the basic logistics behind the scenes of what you do to set up a free webinar. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please give me some hearts and subscribe to the YouTube channel because I'm going to continue to deliver things like this all the time because it really helps me learn even more about my audience and the things that you're looking for whenever I do this and I make mistakes. I am not perfect by any means, but it really helps me learn and continue to grow as an entrepreneur, trying to make it in the online business world, because it's hard sometimes to do things like this that you're not really sure how it's going to work out. But I'm sure some of you are watching this and saying, I'm kind of glad she messed up, because now I know she's not perfect. Y'all know I'm a rookie. Like, that is my thing. Keep it up, rookies. We all have to start somewhere. So that's all we got for today. I hope you really enjoyed this. I hope you subscribe to the channel. I hope that you follow us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Krystal Proffitt TX. That's Krystal with a K, Proffitt with 2 F's and 2 T's. And come back next week, because we're going to have a part 2 video of this, because I got to show you everything else that's involved. So I will talk to y'all later. Thank you so much for joining me today.